Here, 92.3 Nigeria Info, talking figures where we untangle the complexities of the business world. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're good. I'm trying to myself. Thank you for joining me. Yes, the 9th day in the month of October. Nobody's talking about Ember Month, but that's where we are. My name is Chioma Ezenwafo, and I'm your host on Talking Figures. And today, I would like us to take a closer look at how the week has been. Not just this week, but even the previous one. I mean, from the moment we had the last show on Talking Figures to this very moment, a lot has happened, isn't it? We've had the elections, the local government elections, not just in Rivers State, but also in Akwa Ibom State. But let's leave the elections now, shall we? And all the drama it came with. And let's think about the bank downtimes that we experienced as well. I mean, we saw bank downtimes, frustrated bank customers, and it lingered for a while, long enough for the CBN to have issued a statement to reassure bank customers that their money is safe in the banks. More interestingly, is that statement followed social media criticisms. I mean, it's typical for Nigerians out of frustration to want to go to social media to vent, and that happened a lot during these downtimes. And the CBN had to even take some time to talk about how certain they are that your money in your banks are safe. So today I'm asking, do you trust your bank? How do you perceive the banks in Nigeria? I would like to know. Do you see the Nigerian banking system as safe? And I would also like you to be kind, civil, and courteous in your response. And then, what's been your banking experience in the past 1 week? Don't even go far, just 1 week. Yes, look at it with me. The Nigerian banking system, I would like to know your trust level and social media's role in all of it. That's our conversation today. The stability of the banking sector and the role of social media criticisms. We have a poll on X. I put it up just a while ago, and I would like to get your thoughts. I would like you to go ahead and be a part of that poll. It's very simple. It's a yes or a no. Do you trust your bank? Is a yes or a no. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, by the way, at Nigeria Info PH. Yes, share your thoughts with me. Banking experience is real. What's been yours? Have you been to the bank lately? Some of us, it's your USSD or the bank apps that you depend on. You don't even have time to go to the bank. So what's been your banking experience lately? And I think it was on Monday that we had a lot of drama in front of, was it Zenith Bank now? On Monday around Oluwabasanjo Road here in Port Harcourt. And then yesterday, the CBN came up with that statement because a lot of people have been going there to talk. Anyways, we'll talk about all of that. And with my guest, of course, on Talking Figures, I never talk alone. And while we are asking, do you trust your bank? It remains, what role is social media playing in that trust? I have a guest joining me. He's the Rivers State Second Vice Chairman, Chartered the Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Eseoghene Ejogbamu. Okay, I got that. I hope. Thank you so much, Mr. Eseoghene, for joining me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh.
Okay. Yes, good afternoon. Thank you so much for making time for this conversation. Can you still hear me? Okay, I think we're going to switch from WhatsApp to normal call just to be certain that we do not have any network interruptions. Networks have been very interesting, very great this afternoon. And we're not even going to let this...
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, it's clear and loud, right? See, it's breaking again. It's breaking again. So let's just switch to
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, it's clear now. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm happy to have you on the show, by the way, Mr. Eseoghene. And as our tradition is, we would like to go and look at the top big stories in the world of business, just very briefly, before we get into this elephant in the room, like I like to call it on the show. So let's do Market Watch. Do Market Watch with me, telling me your thoughts in on these three stories, top stories, just very briefly, and then we get on and look at this big topic that we have here today. Are you ready? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm hearing your jingle. Your jingle is very loud, yeah.
Okay. You can hear me now, right?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
Okay, great. So, begin with the very first story here. Major oil marketers in Nigeria looking to start direct purchase of petrol from Dangote Petroleum Refinery starting Thursday. That's Thursday and next week. That's tomorrow and next week. Anyways, that story has been on. When Dangote started production of petrol, we were told that NNPC was going to be the sole off-taker. They are the only ones that can leave this product from this refinery. But now we understand stories from, I think, the Punch newspaper is saying that the NNPC has pulled out, and now major marketers can actually get the product directly from the refinery. When you heard this, what went through your mind? Can you hear me, Mr. Eseoghene? Can you hear me? Okay, so we're going to have to do the switch just to be sure that we do not have these interruptions today. Okay, so Okay, so let's do that switch. We'll call you with another line, not this WhatsApp, okay? And then we get on to have a smooth conversation without interruptions. Okay, so let's go on this break, and then we'll sort that out, and we come back for us to look at the big story after these three topics that we'll just want to scale through. Okay, stay tuned. Still here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think this is more reliable, so we're just going to stay with this one. Thank you for staying tuned. Okay, so we're going to go on a break in a couple of minutes, but just before we go, did you get the story I had shared with you? I had wanted to get your thoughts on that. Yes, can you share your thoughts really quickly about 4 minutes before the break? So let's just get your thoughts on that, then we'll go on that break.
Okay. On the positive side,
we because it will reduce the dependency on imports because if the buy from Dangote, that means import. Since we don't have any reliable refinery in Nigeria from Dangote at the moment, then the government from Dangote can then. So if I have to buy from Dangote, that means there will be less reliance on transportation, and that's what we can do. Secondly, I think it will increase the supply chain efficiency because the knowledge and the transportation also will produce things like getting it locally. Then everything being equal, the price is supposed to come down. If something locally is supposed to, it's likely to be cheaper than if I import it because that's an important transportation cost difference will also drop. Then it will be easier for we to monitor the quality of the fuel because it's not coming from one source. And when people import from different places, I will know where it's coming from and the issue of standard. But since I could say that and feel that it's okay, we know all the food will coming from there. So there will be less in maintenance standards. So that's what we see.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Eseoghene, this particular network is also really bad. So we're going to go on that short break and sort all of this out. After the break, we'll get on to the big topic of the day. We're asking, do you trust your bank? We'd like to know your banking experience in recent times and what you think about the banking system in Nigeria, especially the role social media appears to be playing in all of it. I'll tell you why I'm asking this when we get back from this break. Yes, it's still talking figures at 92.3 Nigeria Info, and I have my guest, the River State Second Vice Chairman, Chartered the Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Eseoghene Ejogbamu. Mr. Eseoghene Ejogbamu is going to be standing by, and when we get back, I promise you it will be clearer, better, and we'll have a very interesting conversation. I have a poll on X. Please go be a part of it. We'll open the phone lines at some point, and then we'll get the results of that poll soon enough. So stay tuned. It's a very interesting one coming soon. Yes, we're looking at the banking system today and I'm asking, do you trust your bank? Do you trust your bank? The poll is up on X and also on Facebook, and we're live on Facebook as well and on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. My name is Choma Ezeoghene, and I'm asking you, I have a guest with me, River State Second Vice Chairman, Chartered the Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Mr. Eseoghene Ejogbamu. He's joined me and is clearer, I promise you. Yes, thank you so much for being patient with me today on network. You can still hear, right?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, it is. Okay, so let's just get on with the first experience when it comes to this entire banking situation that we saw happened here in Port Harcourt. Just take a listen to this.
People never enter. Salary since last month. Some people never enter
I think
now.
people will do transfer.
I don't know if you understand.
Someone can transfer from
Salaries are Friday. We do transfer from here.
On Friday.
On Friday. I'm confirming it with you.
Yesterday I transfer. It went.
So what are you saying?
Why is it that the one they are selling that if I let people go out, they're not gonna know the pressure where would they face, what they face.
So why did I
if my brother die, what's it I will talk? People should look my account, check my balance, give me the one I'll take my oxygen now. I can drop my phone, I can drop anything, I can drop my car here. Just give me 50,000 man, go buy my oxygen. You know they understand. I said I have money in my account. Give me 50,000 man, go buy oxygen. I go pack my car, say that if I don't consent.
Okay, so that was right in front of Zenith Bank on Monday. Frustrated bank customers there a lot. And we're not very sure how that was resolved, but that's what we saw. And then by yesterday, the CBN had to come up with a statement. And the statement basically was trying to explain that Nigerians should not lose faith in the Nigerian banking system because there are processes that made sure that you can trust the banking system. And so a question today is, do you trust your bank? Do you trust your bank? Yes, you can call me up or you can actually leave messages. Let's start with WhatsApp messages now. Yes, you can drop your thoughts on WhatsApp 0809-030-6416. That's the WhatsApp number. You can drop your thoughts there. Do you trust your bank? What's been your banking experience? You can share with me 0809-030-6416. The phone lines will be opened at some point, but you can get over to X or Facebook to take the poll about asking whether you trust your bank. And you can also drop your messages on WhatsApp. And my guest is here. And before that, while the CBN statement had gone out yesterday explaining the processes that's been taken to ensure that banks can be trusted in Nigeria, the CIBN also shared concerns as to what Nigerians were saying on social media and why we should not, be talking in that manner. Anyways, I have the second vice chairman of CIBN joining me on the show, and I would like to hear what he's got to think. What do you think about all of what's happened in the past week, Mr. Eseoghene? Let's start from there.
Okay, first of all, just like while we are trying to have this conversation, you observe that this is about the third line that we're using just because of network issues. So sometimes the issue is not necessarily the bank. The bank is relying on a network to provide service. That network might be the internet network, it might be the phone network, or what have you. So if that third party is failing, the third party is not just failing the customer, but the third party is also failing the bank because the bank is paying for that service. So that will go a long way in disappointing and frustrating the customers. So while the customers are complaining, why they are frustrated, the bankers too, they're also frustrated because they are struggling to ensure they give that service. So there is no way, if they cannot access your accounts, it will not be safe for them to part away with money. Like the example of the audio that you played, probably the cashier or the teller is trying to see, does he have money in these accounts? And there's network issue and he cannot access to confirm if the man has money or not. How can he pay? He cannot pay. And most of the times, it's not strictly the bank's problem. The infrastructure in Nigeria is the infrastructure that the banks will depend on. We have electricity issue. Every bank will provide generator. 99% of the banks, they have inverters just to ensure that their business can go 24/7 and without any issue. The service providers too need to depend on generators and inverters. If there is an issue, probably with their generator or with an inverter system, and there's a break somewhere, it goes a long way to affect the whole chain. Everybody will be affected. Even if it will last 5 minutes, even if it will last 10 minutes, but everybody will be affected. That is what the problem is. You cannot compare what we have here with what you have in advanced countries where maybe they can stay for years without seeing darkness for 1 minute. So that is the main problem. Infrastructural deficiency. So banks spend more than 10 times what they are supposed to spend if there are other crimes just to give service to customers. So I'm not trying to speak for the bank. I'm not mentioning.
You're already speaking for the bank. I mean, you're a banker, so you're here to help us understand what's going on. Now, apart from the whole downtime that happened, we know that GTCO also had to face some false allegations. They've had to come to the bank, and somehow that CBN statement is actually more related to that than the downtime. But then I'm asking, do you think the recent social media buzz about Nigerian banks is fair, or do you feel it's doing more harm than good?
It's doing more harm than good.
Okay.
It's the general social media problem. You know, people just bring one fake news and they want to go viral, and it's a normal thing. So it's not just for banks. It's for both politics, for anything. Somebody can just pick up a story and just blow it out of proportion.
Okay. Now, what's the CIBN doing to help banks respond to these public criticisms and so they can keep trust levels high? Because we need it high, isn't it?
Yes. Our role, just like what we are doing now, is to educate the public, educate bankers also. We have programs for bankers. We certify bankers. So for any banker to be a professional, there are some exams that banker needs to write, and it's CIBN that organizes those exams. And when you pass the exam, you now become chartered or certified. So apart from that, we try to educate the public. Like if you observe, we also released a circular almost the same time the CIBN released one. So we do that to educate the general public and also to educate bankers on the truth, on what is actually on ground, so that everybody will be abreast and not be moving with fake news.
Now, how can banks better communicate with their customers, especially when things like service outages happen? Because for us to see, this is 2024, and we still have bank customers having to get in front of the gates of banks and be shouting on top of their voices. Is that a better way to handle things?
Yes, I believe there has to be more engagement on social media, on radio, on television, and so on and so forth. Even direct text messages to customers, so that when there is a downtime, they're already aware that there is something wrong in this particular area. Maybe our server is down, bear with us, or tomorrow we are going to run maintenance, or we are going to do so and so thing from so and so time to so and so time. So when the customers are informed, I think that will mitigate some of these things that we are seeing. So bank can step up on that aspect of ensuring that they inform customers as much as possible and as early as possible. Yes, that will help.
Now, in your view, how much impact does social media really have on how people feel about their banks these days? I mean, social media.
These days, the sentiment on social media is very high. So banks need to develop good social media team. And if you're able to manage your social media handle very well, that can help to also manage your PR, your PR, yeah. You'll be able to manage your public relations very well. Because we have youngsters that all they do is just to stay on the internet. And people don't look at television, people don't listen to radio. They pick news more from social media. So it is very good that banks establish strong social media presence so that they can be able to influence the way people think about them. Very important.
Okay, have you seen the CBN statement about this, what we're talking about? Have you seen the CBN statement?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, talk to us about those key measures the CBN says they've put in place to protect our money.
Those measures are not just measures that they are putting in place today. Those are measures that are being on ground. They are only trying to remind the general public that
they are there.
These things here, they are there. They are not just saying that is what they want to put. No, it's something that has been there for years, and they are only they are improving on it from time to time. From time to time, there's always evaluation that CBN does, examination that they do. Go to the banks to go and check what they are doing, check their books, check their capital, check their loans, check everything, ensure that everything is going on well. So these things, they do it all the time. And apart from that, every bank has an external auditor that audits the bank every year, and that report is submitted to CBN. Okay. So that report is an independent report, separate from the internal management account that the bank will generate. There is an internal auditor that is certified by CBN to carry out that work.
Okay.
Apart from the routine checks that CBN will do and the risk-based assessment that CBN will do. So banks go through that. Yeah.
Okay. How would you rate this measures, comparing it to what we have going on in other climes, international standard now, comparing it side by side? Is it enough?
To be fair, I would say that the CBN is doing very well when it comes to that aspect, and also the NDIC too. They are doing well when you compare it to other countries. We cannot deny the fact that we have not had banks, even in the developed countries, going down. These things do happen. But for some time now, apart from the last one that just happened of recent, for some years now, I don't think any bank has gone down. They have been doing their best to mitigate these things, and so far so good. Apart from the last one that happened a few months back.
Okay, we're going to open the phone lines at this point, and then I would like to start with what I'm seeing coming on WhatsApp, and then we open the phone lines after that. Okay, so yeah, call me up 0817-923-0002. You can also call 0817-923-0003. Yes, yeah, you probably wouldn't hear my voice first. Your call will obviously be screened, and then we'll patch you through to the studio after you tell the call screen or your name and where you're calling from. Okay, 0817-923-0002 is a number that you can call. 0817-923-0003. Yes, the phone lines are open now, and while we wait for your calls to come through, let's look at the messages coming on from WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, yes, you can drop your messages on WhatsApp. 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. That's the WhatsApp number. And I have one here coming from Kelvin. He says, afternoon, Chairman. Responding to your question, I must tell you, I don't trust my bank. Never pre-inform me on possible breakdown time of system. My bank never explains to me or give reasons for deducting certain small amounts, meaning doing this to millions of people gives them 3 billions. That's allegedly, right? I never trust my bank because they deduct ATM charges anytime they like. Is in your head, perhaps? Call it maintenance fees. The banking system is so fearful with their flagrant deduction, but I don't have any choice. I still have to save my money there, since you can keep large sum of money. You can't keep large sum of money at home. That's from Kelvin. How do you respond to this, Mr. Second Vice Chairman?
Okay, first of all, like I said earlier, it is very important for banks to educate their customers and the general public. And some of them have been trying to do this, but I personally believe that it should be improved. But apart from that, we need to understand that not all the charges are coming from the banks.
Okay.
Some of the charges are coming from government.
Okay, can you hold that thought? I'd like to take this call and then get to you. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Talking Figures.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Do you trust your bank?
Okay. Because based on what happened to me, because of the bank issue, I don't trust any bank anymore. Up to now, do you know that nobody my money now? They are telling me they are investigating the owner of the account that they are paying my salary, this and that. Since soon, up to now, nobody is all my money is either in heritage banks. I don't trust any bank at all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing your experience there. Sad one there. I truly sympathize with you, and I hope the issues will be resolved in the time soon. Yes, you can call me up 0817-923-0007. You can also call 0817-923-0009. Yes, I'm asking, do you trust your bank? More importantly, what will make you trust them? What should banks do to gain your trust? That's the question I'm also asking this afternoon. What's the one thing that would make you feel more confident about your bank and the safety of your money? Call me up 0817-923-0002. And WhatsApp number, you can drop your messages. Please do not call. Just drop your messages there, 0809-030-6416. What's the one thing that would make you feel more confident about your bank and the safety of your money? We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. Yes, your messages can also be dropped there as well. And I'm actually heading over there now. Let me start with Facebook. Let's see. Is it open? Let's see what it is that you're saying. And if you've taken my poll, I told you I have a poll on X and Facebook. I would like to know what are you saying over there? Yeah, I would like to know what you're saying. Let me see now. It says this one is from Godwin Agwanwa. He says, good afternoon, Chioma. Concerning public trust in banks, I don't trust my bank because they deduct some money, and sometimes network problem is very difficult because some are there just to collect your money. It's only some banks that you can guarantee your trust with them, and also your financial statements are safe. Citing the case of Zenith Bank, some people say stay outside and tell you they can help you with your bank issues. Why they are fraudsters. That's from Godwin from Alakaya. Be careful with anyone asking for such help, right? Mr. Eseoghene, your thoughts there now.
Yeah, let me start from the last one. I think they have to be very careful with anybody that come and tell them that they want to help. Is that person a staff of the bank that will just say that I want to help you? There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
So they should be careful with that. But back to what I was saying about charges. Charges, some of them are indirect tax, kind of. Like, for example, the stamp duty. It is not for the bank. The bank is only helping the government to collect it. There are other charges, like the withholding tax. There are some kind of transaction that you do with the bank, and the bank will have to deduct that money and send to the government. And even VAT, there are some transactions that you do, almost all the transactions, after charging you for what they're supposed to charge you, add VAT on it. And that money is not for the bank. It goes to the government. So the bank is just helping to facilitate that tax. So sometimes people just mix all these things up and say bank charges. Then there are some charges that are shared. For example, SMS. SMS is not free. SMS is provided by a third party. And if the bank sends you an SMS, the bank is charged. So if they are going to put something on it, maybe just 50 kobo or maybe 1 naira, if they are being charged 3 naira, they now charge you 4 naira, or they are charged 4 naira and they just pass it on to you. Because if you send SMS to your friend or something, of course, the telecommunication providers, they will charge you. So if the bank sends an SMS to you, they will charge the bank too. Yes, it might be a bit cheaper because they will buy bulk SMS, but there is still a charge on it. So the bank will try to pass that charge. If there's a difference, the difference will not be that much. So if you now talk about government tax, you talk about this one, talk about this one, you put everything together, it now look as if these charges are excessive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to WhatsApp again. I have one here from Owanete Clinton West, and he's asking, or rather, he's saying it is quite unfortunate that the way and manner Nigerian banks are going about the whole thing is alarming and worrisome. Money you deposited into your account, when to take it, the bank will give you conditions, amount to take. This is unacceptable. Thank you for your message there. I also have, oh my goodness, this is very long, but I'll try. You said the Nigerian bank is becoming a failed institution as the country grows old. For me, I have long lost hope on Nigerian banks, apart from network and social media thing, according to your guest. According to your guest, what about bank staff aiding the secret withdrawal of customer money? What about the failed bank that a lot of people has lost their money? Can you admire the smelling attitude of some of the bank staff? Some of them are nightmare. I lost my money this goes on to call about 3 banks. I have totally lost hope in Nigerian bank. My hope is in Kolo Saving Bank under my bed. Would you advise that? This is from George. George calling from send that message in from Omoko. Send that message in from Omoko and saves under his bed these days. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's not advisable, you say. All right, I have another one here. Eddie D says, please ask him how we can get our money from Heritage Bank. You remember the Heritage Bank situation? How can people that still have their money there get it?
Okay, all the banks in Nigeria, all, they are insured by NDIC. And once a bank fails, NDIC will pay up to a certain limit. Now, those days it should be lower. Now they can pay up to 5 million naira of the deposits. So, for example, if somebody has 500,000, 200,000, 100,000, you'll be paid by NDIC. You'll be paid. But if you have excess of that insured limits, that is not to say that you not get your money, but they will pay you that limit.
Okay, let's see if we can take another call. 0817-923-0002. You can also call 0817-923-0007. And the WhatsApp number 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. Do you trust your bank? That's the question on the show today. Do you trust your bank? And if you have questions for our banker, yes, you can ask those questions. He's already answering some of them. I have one here from Amadi Yokori on WhatsApp. She says, my bank since yesterday failed to alert me that money I deposited has been received by them. Meanwhile, I was debited instantly. That's from Amaka Okere. Okay, now, Mr. Eseoghene, I have a question from Dr. Samuel. He said, what is CBN doing concerning cash withdrawal, where bank issues daily cash withdrawal to 5,000 naira to 10,000 naira?
Okay, I think the CBN policy is very clear. They want to move the economy to cashless. Yes, we're having some issues because of financial inclusion issues that we have, because there are some people, especially in the rural areas, that are not in the banking system. So if you have a transaction with them, it will be very difficult for you to transfer money to them. So you'll be forced to pay cash. That's true. But the CBN is trying to push both on financial inclusion and on their cashless policy. So the cashless is deliberate. They don't want too much cash in the economy. They want people to do transfers. And it is this policy too that is putting more burden on the banks, because since almost everybody wants to do transfer, the traffic is now so much that the banks need to really update the infrastructure to be able to cover for everybody.
Okay. Now, as we wrap up, Mr. Eseoghene, because of time, as we wrap up, what's your advice to bank customers and even to banks themselves?
Yes, I'll still go back to what I said from the beginning. There should be more engagement with customers, more information. Banks should give more information to customers, and those information should be timely too. They should give more information and be more transparent. So you know that you're having a downtime. You say it, we're having a downtime. You want to run a maintenance tomorrow, I want to run some maintenance today. You give the time from so and so time to so and so time. We are doing so and so thing, and we are going to be down for so and so period. To be fair, some banks are doing it, but I'm just saying that it should be more. It should go more around, not just to announce it on the radio or whatever. No, send text messages, put it on the social media, and so on and so forth. Let everybody know that this is what is going on, so that people will be well informed.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eseoghene Ejogbamu, for making time for this conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And that's the River State Second Vice Chairman, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Eseoghene Ejogbamu, joined me on the show today, talking figures. That's a wrap here, really. And I know you still have so many questions. I see some of the questions still coming in, but really we have to go. And then Rivers Today is up next. The news, Rivers Today is up next. After that, Kalada will be here to take you on hard facts. And I'll be back next week, Wednesday, with another, of course, a very interesting one that helps you make those really key business decisions. My name is Choma Ezewa for signing out. And thank you for being here with me today, despite the network issues. All right. See you there.
Oil and gas, Forex,